What's good, people? Tonight we're gonna do something simple. Show you how to make clams, shrimp with white wine sauce. Good if you like seafood. If not, fuck you. Shit you missed. Garlic. Chop it up fine. 6-7 cloves. Shallots. Chopped down, not as fine though. Parsley. Need some type of broth. I go with chicken because it tastes better than vegetable broth. 2 teaspoons of butter. Cup of white wine, which I poured out because I took down the bottle. Yeah, no. Shrimp. Bought fresh, shells on, deveined by hand. And then clams. You notice like water is really white. It's because when you get clams or anything that lives in a shell like oysters, clams, mussels, you want to put them in cold water, cover them, put a cup of flour inside of the water and let them sit for an hour. The flour helps them get rid of the rest of the dirt or anything else that was inside of them. And when you're done with that, you want to make sure you clean them. Make sure they're clean, that they don't have any of their beard left, which is hairs. And you're good. You want to get a pot or a big deep skillet, whatever you want to use. I don't use olive oil because olive oil has a very low boiling rate, which means shit can burn up real fast. And we don't want that. So I'm going to turn the fire on. It's medium high or electric, whatever the hell you're rocking. Alright. Once you get your oil heated up, you want to start with your shallots. Now, with the shallots, you just want to make sure they get soft. You just want them tender. You're not trying to cook them, or overcook them. You do the shallots first. You always do your garlic right before you do whatever else you're going to do, because garlic cooks very, very fast. You don't want to burn it. Alright, once you got your shallots tender, I'm going to throw in the garlic. Well, let me scrape this out real quick. You're going to cook your garlic for literally about 60 seconds. You're not aiming for a brown, you're not aiming for any type of change in the color. You're just going to base it on 60 seconds because it'll cook the rest during its actual cooking process. Alright. Next thing you want to do now is add your wine and your broth. You want to use, you want a pound of clams a pound of shrimp, and we're good. I'm going to use a cup, or maybe a little more than a cup of white wine. Dry white wine is better. Throw in your butter. Next, you throw in your wine. And you want to throw in a cup of broth, vegetable or chicken, you know, because chicken's light. It's not something that's gonna overpower the seafood. And put that in there with your broth. Now me, I'm going to turn the fire up to high just to get it boiling. So, I'll be back with you in a sec. Alright. Once the wine and broth starts bubbling very well, you can go ahead and throw in salt, some pepper, your seasonings. Throw in a bay leaf, which I don't have any. You can use chilies, whatever flavors you want. I use sea salt. Don't use regular salt to cook much anymore. And pepper. Honestly, if I had white pepper, I'd use it instead, but I don't. So black will do. And turn the fire back down to medium high. Make sure you have a top for whatever you're using because you want to cover it. Once that starts going, you want to throw in your seafood. When you're doing your clams, in any parts of the off time during the process of cleaning and the waiting, keep them in water. I add a couple pieces of ice, just keep them cool so they don't open up, start peeking and shit, and run away. Shrimp was whatever, you know, it's gonna do what it do. Alright, that sounds good. So now we're gonna put in our shrimp. You know, shrimp, most seafood doesn't take very long to cook. Fish, shellfish, pretty much everything. People always overcook things. It's like cooking a crab. Cooking crabs usually takes about 20-30 minutes. People will keep them in water for hours. Empty the water out of the clams, obviously. I'm gonna need 2 hands to do this. Give me a second. Now we're gonna go ahead, add the clams in. Now, one of the important things to remember when cooking clams is they technically take about 3 minutes to cook in the proper warmth of water. You know, steaming, boiling. They cook pretty fast. When we're doing this, we're gonna go ahead and let all these cook for about 9 minutes, maybe 10. When you get everything in there, tell you a little bit of the, taste your broth, see if it needs any salt, any more pepper. I'm good on salt, but pepper could definitely be used. Alright, get that all mixed up and blended. So now we're going to go ahead and cover the pot. I'm going to turn it up a little bit because I'm impatient. And be back in a sec. Now remember when I told you about the 3 minutes thing? It's literally been about 3, maybe 2.5 minutes. And you can see most of these clams are open already. They literally are that fast, okay? If you didn't know, if you are cooking clams, oysters, mussels, anything in shells, if they do not open while you're cooking them, throw them away. Do not eat them. They are bad. They're dead. The only way these things will open up is if they have the power to open themselves. If they don't open, it is bad. You'll get sick if you eat them. Alright, it's been about 10 minutes, which is more than enough time. It's done. Turn your fire off. Remove it from the heat so it stops cooking, obviously. Now, when you're transferring this, a lot of people will go and just dump the shit in a bowl and serve it. No. If you do that, you cannot see if any of the clams didn't open. Take a slotted spoon, spoon the actual food out first. By the way, these are California raised clams. It's called they're called clams mahogany. I got these from Pavilions. You know, summertime, it's a good time for seafood. It's a lot of it. Huh? Looks like I struck lucky. All my clams opened. It's always good news. So I don't have to worry about throwing anything or wasting any money. If you ever get a batch of clams and half or a little close to half of them don't open, take that shit back to the store. Here's your receipt. Take them back and they will replace them. Just can't be selling dead and bad shit. If you got a couple that aren't open, it's actually kind of common. Alright, so now that everything's there, you are going to take the sauce and use it. You're just going to put it on the plate. Get a fucking actually be a little too much. But as you can see, weird ass glare. Most of the garlic and stuff is, you know, still in there. So you want to get that out. So I'm going to put you down for a second. Shit, I don't even be a fucking cameraman. Okay, now you see, it's a lot of excess juice for a plate. If you have it in a bowl, it doesn't really matter. But since I do have it on a plate, I'm going to drain some of it off. Yeah. Alright, I'm back. Okay. Now, for the final part, you're going to use your parsley. Me personally, if you have lemons or lemon juice, this is just squeezed and concentrated lemon juice. I like to throw a little bit in the parsley, a little zing to it, I guess you can call it. And take your parsley. You seen the El Pollo Loco commercial? Flourish, you know, and take it and make sure you chop it down pretty good. It doesn't have to be tiny. I don't like using flat leaf parsley for this because it's not as appealing. And I cut up way too much parsley, which I knew I did in the first place. And it is ready to be served. Now, if you want to stretch it, buy more. And plus, every cup of, if you get like 2 cups, I mean not 2 cups, if you get 2 pounds of clams, 2 pounds of shrimp, up your wine and your broth. To a cup for every pound. So if you're making a big ass pot, work with it. If you're making a gigantic pot, obviously if you hit a max of a liquid, you're straight. Another way to stretch it is you can also make boil some fettuccine noodles, lay them down, put this on top of it. You feed double the people that you would have without it. And there you go. That's shrimp and clams in white wine, garlic, and butter sauce. I'll let you boy.